Hello and welcome back to the bets.com.au YouTube channel. We're going to touch on the Australian Ashes squad for the Rugby League Test Series over in England. 22 years
Insane
since we've had an Ashes Test, Jez. And we've sat and we've tried to dissect this squad announcement, see if we can pick a top 17. It's almost impossible.
Yeah, it's tough. There's a lot of class in the Australian side. We've been this morning also recording the Ashes cricket preview over at Ahead of the Game, our other channel, and there's nothing better than this Australian-English rivalry. Like, you love the games against the Kiwis, right? But there's still that sort of big brother, little brother kind of feeling to it. It's okay if they get a win here and there, but never against England. And nice. I can't believe it's taken 22 years to have one of these Ashes series again, because like there is no better rivalry. There's no one we love to beat more than England. And with the squad that we've got, I don't know, I could call it like I did with the Ashes. It's gonna be a 3-0 sweep. Sweep.
The games will be played at Wembley Stadium October 25, at Everton Stadium November 1, and Headingley November 8. So 3 chances to see the Aussies up against the Poms.
Smash the Poms.
We have a squad. We're going to put it up on the screen. I think it's 7 debutants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 debutants listed.
And a debutant coach.
Yeah,
Walters.
Kevy Walters.
Yeah, so 2. That's massive.
Yep. Blake Brayley from the Sharks, Keon Koloamatangi from the Rabbitohs, Mark Nita Wase from the Roosters. I mean, I didn't even know that he's said he's going to go back to rugby.
It's a massive call. It's very
un-Australian.
No. Well, it's un-Australian rugby league. Like, I thought obviously he is, like, the back end of the season that he had was absolutely phenomenal. A huge part of why the Roosters was sort of pushing there for a little while, even being classed as the dark horse for the premiership because of how, like, spectacular he's been playing. So, like, I'm happy he's there because it's fair. He's the informed winger of the competition. But it is very subjective, I think, depending on what sort of angle you look at it. Giving a guy the honour of being a Kangaroo, and then he's going to all of a sudden go back to rugby union to be a Wallaby again.
Oh. And he's already also been named in the Fiji Bati team for the Pacific Championships. So he's got a pretty big choice here to make.
Yeah, it's a massive call. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. To be honest, if I have to say if I like it or not, I'm going to say I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it, Sharon. I don't like it. But yeah, purely because I just think especially if the Ashes are going to be recurring, we're trying to build international rugby league as a whole. I think for Australia, yes, we're the dominant team, then we should be still also putting in the players that we can have over so we can dominate. I don't want anybody beating us over this. As the international rugby league grows, I want to make sure that we're always at the top, and that comes with making sure that we're developing players and building international chemistry between different players from different clubs, and this sort of fucks it up, really. And I think if he wants to be jumping back and forth and wants to be a Wallaby, I don't want to play that game, to be honest. I think you play rugby union or play rugby league. I don't know about this whole switching codes and switching back type of thing.
There you go. We also have Jacob Preston from the Bulldogs, Gemet Shibasaki from the Broncos. Mate, what a return to elite football for the goatee. Well, no longer goatee. He shaved it off for the grand final.
Maybe that's the thing you got to do. Shave off the goatee, and had a cracking game. Scored a try, maybe even almost 2. No more goatee.
Ethan Strange from the Raiders, and of course Reece Walsh from the Broncos named in the squad. Now, Jez, we've tried to pick out a top 17. Obviously, Harry Grant, the vice-captain, Isaiah Yeo, the captain. Both of those guys are locked in.
Yep.
Let's start from 1 to 17, and we'll see if we agree And we can also just maybe quickly name who would be the backup, who maybe gets a run in game 2 or game 3, or if there's an injury. So in fullback,
I think you can't bump Dylan Edwards out. I know Reece Walsh was spectacular, is spectacular, will be spectacular, but I think like right now, this series, give Walsh a chance to come into the international scene. Maybe he gets a start in a dead rubber because they're going to be winning 2-0, and Dylan Edwards will get a break. But I think you can't bump Edwards. He does so much.
Yeah. And Reece Walsh the backup. Cam Munster can also jump back there if they're in a spot of bother. The wingers, Xavier Coates and Mark Nwangani-Tawase, the two choices there. Yep.
Yeah.
We also have backups. You could have Lomax out on a wing. You could have, who else we got there? You could put Reece Walsh on a wing.
Yeah.
You could put Shibasaki on a wing. Katoni Staggs to go on the wing as well.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of guys that can play that spot.
Yeah.
The centres.
Yeah, I think definitely Katoni Staggs, the form that he's been in, I think you have to have him in. I think Zach Lomax has also done enough now in the representative scene on the big stage for New South Wales to grant him making a spot. If it's in the centres or if it's out on the wing, that'll also be up to selection and form. So I think those like back four. It's going to be interesting to see how Walters puts them all together because, like you said, everyone can play in sort of all different positions and be centres and wings. So it's going to be the makeup of that first game when it's our best squad. It's going to be, there's going to be some tough calls to be made.
And we are spoiled for choice in the halves. We've picked Nathan Cleary and Cam Munster.
Yeah.
But you could make a what do you say? A case for Munster Dearden.
Yeah.
You could make a case for Moses and Cleary.
No.
Mate, I think you can.
Yeah. You can definitely make a case. But I think what sort of gives us our rock solid, it's also the same. Like Munster and Cleary, I don't think you can move them on until they're ready to move on themselves, both in extremely good form. They can't be budged.
And you also have Ethan Strange there as I don't think he gets a run this time around.
No.
Even off the bench, I don't think he's an electric player and he's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah.
But there's just so many guys in front of him right now.
Yeah, but I think it's extremely smart to bring him in now. He's very young. You saw the development that he had, the jump that he had this year and led the Raiders. I think it's very smart to bring him in. It's a little bit like what Queensland do. You bring in a guy a little bit too early into the squad. You let him get used to the systems and the coaching and all of that. And then all of a sudden, his chance will come, his opportunity will come, and he'll be ready and come in seamlessly into the squad like he's played 10 caps.
Yeah. And I think a similar situation with Blake Brayley.
Yeah.
I think he has also had a fantastic couple of seasons.
Yeah.
And he's an established hooker for the Sharks.
Yeah.
A great manager of that dummy half role. But you got Harry Grant there. You have most likely Tom Dearden coming off the bench as that utility.
Yeah.
If it's not a hooker, you're looking probably at Reece Walsh coming off the bench as that utility.
Yeah, definitely.
So probably saying that for Brayley. But head to the forward pack and the two props. Who have we got here?
Yeah, I think it's also the makeup of it because I think now a lot of the props are also playing lock. So I think there's some questions that need to be made, but when you're sort of looking at it, you go, okay, is it going to be Tino? Is it going to be Ruben Cotter? Is it going to be Pat Carrigan? All of those three all can play lock.
Starting.
Yeah, and be starting props or starting locks and all come off the bench. We saw what Pat Carrigan did for Queensland coming off the bench and how massive that was to be able to match the opposition and the pace of the opposition's interchange players. So, but I think if you got to pick sort of straight up, I think Tino goes straight in. He's got too much of the pedigree there. And you match him with his Queensland counterpart in Ruben Cotter and play both of those boys up front and do a lot of the early work.
The hooker, Harry Grant. The second rowers, Angus Crichton has to have a spot there.
Yeah. He's a lock.
He's the second rower.
Yeah. Yes. That joke.
The other second row was a little bit more contentious, we felt.
Yeah, I like what we said. You've got some of these guys that can move around. It depends what they want to do with that front row rotation and lock rotation as well. But there's a lot of names on this list that could easily slip in as the starting second rower, or even come off the bench, like Kolomatangi. Preston has been incredible. Who else? Lindsay Smith can even play second row. So, yeah, I think it is a tough call, but I think we both sort of agreed after the season that he had. I think you have to start Hudson Young as the other second rower, specialist second rower. Know what he can do. Awesome electric for Canberra Raiders this year and deserves a starting spot, in my opinion.
But I think both Crichton and Young play on the left side, so I don't wonder if that'll have a different or make some sort of selection call there. The lock, obviously, Isaiah Yeo, as we said. Now we get into the bench, and you have to have a utility on your bench. Yeah. And Tom Dearden, I think, has cemented himself in that spot until he takes over as a starting half or a starting.
If that ever happens, like Jesus, yeah, it happened for Queensland, obviously, with Cherry Evans coming out, and what a difference it made. But there's too many. The lineup of halves that are there, I think his best value is coming in as the 14, because he can just play anywhere, and you're going to get the effort from him to whatever spot he needs to fill. So, yeah, I he's a lock at 14, and I don't know if he ever starts in the halves, to be honest.
If they don't go with him and still want to keep the starting lineup, then it has to be Reece Walsh.
Yeah, but then I think you're trying to cover more someone of the back five, because obviously with Dearden, he can still do a lot of tackling. You can shift someone. I guess you can shift someone in to cover a forward, and he can slot in pretty much anywhere, and the halves. But Reece Walsh, I think you're mainly then focusing on that back five, and it just depends if you want the pace or not. Do you think there's a chance? Or
I think you could see him defend at fullback, push Dylan Edwards up onto the wing,
yeah,
and push the wingers and centers in one.
Yeah,
keep Harry Grant on the field, make him play 80 minutes.
Yeah,
and then you have that extra weapon in attack to just roam around and find something to do, and that could be just amazing. You've seen Walsh's defense in the grand final, and just the way he lifted the team in attack in all three of the final matches they had.
Yeah,
he will play in one of these games, if not two. It's just a question of where he fits into the team on the field.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think it is a big call to shift to bring him in as cover. I definitely don't think he'll start. He will be in the 17 for the first game. And then I think we just sort of see how the series is, how dominant Australia is, and then what sort of how much Kevin Walters wants to sort of blood some players. But I don't think it's a bad option just to have him around the squad, and if he doesn't get any minutes. But I think if it's definitely a 2-0 whitewash already, I think we'll see a full flip on the Australian squad, and we'll get
there's no way Kevin Walters is taking Reece Walsh to England and not putting him on the field. No way it's happening. The other backup, we're going with a 3-forward bench rotation. Who have we got in there?
All right, with obviously Lindsay Collins.
No, we said he's the one missing out.
Lindsay Collins missing out. Then we got Kolomatangi, Jacob Preston, and Lindsay Smith.
No. Pat Carrigan is the bench rotation.
Oh, yeah, we didn't have Carrigan there. Pat Carrigan,
Lindsay Smith, and Kolomatangi are the three bench forwards in our eyes, which means Jacob Preston is the backup, Lindsay Collins is the backup, and then you have your extended backs that then also miss out. I think the forwards, we said Blake Brayley will miss out, and I think we've covered everybody else looking at the list.
Yeah.
Shibasaki, unfortunately, I think also will miss out. This again, so many players in front of him. It's maybe if there's an injury or yeah, they get belted in
Yeah,
2
absolutely.
games, he gets a run. But otherwise, I see it's mainly just being a part of the squad, and a thank you for your amazing effort. Another
Absolutely.
Kevy Walt is special there.
Yeah. Brisbane Alliance.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll wait and see, or if the English squad hasn't already come out. We haven't seen it, but doesn't really matter.
Doesn't
Australia's
matter.
going to win.
Exactly.
Stick around here on the bets.com.au YouTube channel, because we'll be previewing Pack Champs as well, and whatever else we can get around NRL wise or rugby league wise
Yeah.
towards the end of this year.
Not ready to let go of the
Not
rugby
ready to
league
go,
just
yeah.
yet.
But there is heaps of cricket content coming. NFL we do week to week. Big Bash League around the corner. NBL, NBA will be coming to the channel as well soon.
Yeah.
That starts up. Some NHL, heaps of sport.
Heaps of sport.
Head over to bets.com.au. There's a link in the description to head to the NRL hub. Jez, thanks for this one.
Thank you.
Catch you around soon.
Yeah, probably in 5 minutes.